Congress.
We can't change how divided we've been. We can change how to move forward.
The State of the Union address.
We will save democracy.
Coverage begins tonight at 8:30 on Bloomberg 1130 and Bloomberg Television.
Stores take us to summers away or winter adventures and afternoon getaways. Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors by working with you on a comprehensive plan to help you reach your wealth's full potential. Because doors were meant to be opened. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimum supply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
Whether you're an in-house counsel or in private practice, Bloomberg Law gives you the edge with the latest in AI-powered legal analytics, business insights, and workflow tools. With guidance from our experts, you'll grasp the latest trends in the legal industry, helping you achieve better results for the practice of law, the business of law, the future of law. The difference is Bloomberg Law. Learn more at BloombergLaw.com.
Let's have a lot of people pedal those bikes. Intervals. Burn. Burn. Come on, burn. Woo!
Performance is more exhilarating on a real road. Introducing the Audi Q5 with a 261 horsepower engine that'll take you 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds. Always obey local speed and traffic laws.
Don't let someone else drive off in the Audi model you've always wanted. Visit your tri-state area Audi dealer to get behind the wheel of yours today, or visit AudiOffers.com for more information.
If you're having a business dispute, you know time is money. The longer your case proceeds, the more your case can cost. So speed up your resolution with the American Arbitration Association. Arbitration with the American Arbitration Association is faster. In fact, the median time frame for an American Arbitration Association B2B arbitration to be awarded is nearly 16 months faster than the U.S. courts. ADR.org. Resolve faster. Markets, headlines, and breaking news 24 hours a day at Bloomberg.com, on Bloomberg Television, and the Bloomberg Business app. This is a Bloomberg Business Flash. It's 4:21 on Wall Street. I'm Charlie Pelletan. We check the markets all day long at Bloomberg. Getting word from Bed Bath & Beyond says it has initiated incremental store closures in its Bed Bath & Beyond banner, with an ultimate operating goal of about 360 stores. So the store closings being announced at Bed Bath & Beyond. Lots of earnings after the close of trading. Among some of the names reporting, Chipotle Mexican Grill. That stock trading lower after hours. Chipotle reported comparable sales for the fourth quarter that missed the average analyst estimate. Right now, the stock is down 4.60%, but Chipotle's board did approve an additional buyback of up to $200 million. It also sees 2023 new restaurants in the range of 255 to 285. Estimates were for 274. So a lot to sort through in the earnings report out of Chipotle, but again, after hours, that stock now down by about 4.5%. It was an update on Wall Street. Stocks closed very close to session highs. The S&P was up 53 points today, a gain of about 1.3%. Dow Industrials up 265, up 0.8%. NASDAQ was up 226 points. That was a gain today of about 1.9%. Turns out that Fed Chair Jay Powell's comments on Bloomberg, they were less aggressive than feared by investors. 10-year yield 3.67% with a 2-year, 4.46%. Spot gold today, 0.2%, little changed, up $3.78 the ounce to $18.71. A big move though for crude oil today was Texas Intermediate crude up 4.3%, $77.32 a barrel. I'm Charlie Pelletan. That is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
All right, Charlie, appreciate that update. Well, the big game, as you know, we just talked about it with our Jerry Smith about the ads during the Super Bowl. But if you're thinking maybe about heading to Arizona to watch it or maybe be there for the surrounding festivities, our next guest may have some thoughts on exactly how to do it and find some space to hang out in. Tim Henschel is co-founder and CEO of HotelPlanner.com, joins us via Zoom from London. Tim, nice to have you here with Mike Regan and myself. Let's just start big broadly, especially on a day when we just heard from Fed Chair Jay Powell. The travel environment, how does it look to you?
Travel's strong. You see in January, tech stocks were rebounding nicely, and we can say that we are looking at another year of 100% year-over-year growth out of COVID. So yeah, 2023 so far is starting really strong for travel. Yeah, we're happy about that.
Tim, let's say hypothetically I am a football fan and I just landed a ticket to the Super Bowl. How out of luck am I when it comes to finding a hotel room right now? Is it still possible?
Well, every year we have this conversation because, our company looks at rate compression in all big events around the globe. And the NFL, big Super Bowl gets bigger every year. And unfortunately, they keep picking these like Glendale that only have 1,800 rooms. And of course, it's a small suburb of Phoenix. Phoenix only has 62,000 rooms. And every year, the number of people attending the Super Bowl, gets a little bit higher. And in LA, they just had 150,000 last year.
Wow.
So that's probably going to increase by another 5%. So you're talking about getting close to 160,000. And, there's only room capacity for 63,000 room nights. So, I'm sure your listeners can do the math. That means high hotel room prices. Especially considering Phoenix is in season.
Tim, does that mean there's
ahead.
actually rooms available? You're just going to have to pay up for it?
There's a few rooms still available, but for a star, you're looking at paying over $1,000 a night. So I think most people are opting now to look at VRBO or Airbnbs where you are going to pay more than a 3-star, but you'll, get a house or a couple bedroom condo, and those are going for around $1,500 to $2,000 a night. But people are opting in that direction because that's where there's more availability than hotels.
Tim, I've heard that often hotels will oversell their rooms for an event like this. I mean, is it possible someone could arrive at their hotel and be turned away?
Oh, quite definitely. So what happens is when, before the NFL announces the Super Bowl date, they lock out about 80% of the room inventory in the city. So they fill those rooms with corporate sponsor, with obviously the teams, families, and then over time, as they fill everybody who needs in the city, they start releasing those rooms back to the general public. And so over time, you see more and more rooms. So even to the last minute, if a couple of important VIPs, hopefully no players, end up not making it, then those rooms get replaced. And so you can still pick something up, but of course, it's going to be thousands and thousands of dollars a night. But considering the minimum Super Bowl ticket is around $6,000 right now, if you want it that bad, what's paying a couple $1,000s a night for a hotel room as well?
That's right. I think I'll be camping out in the parking lot if I get a ticket, Carol.
I understand.
I just think that the NFL needs to look at taking it to cities that off season. Detroit could use a bit of demand right now, or Minneapolis. Or Baltimore, to pick Phoenix, which in February is in season, and there's a PGA event happening over the same time. It doesn't even have that much room inventory. Just asking for people to be scrambling. But of course, if you're the NFL, you get your first pick of the prime hotel rooms. The fans can fend themselves, sort of thing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's maybe some issues you want to take up with the NFL. I'm going to go out a little bit more broader and bigger in terms of the travel world. Tell us a little bit about your company and why is it different, or why should a user go to you versus Trip or Expedia or Trivago?
Well, we're actually celebrating our 20th year anniversary, so we've been around for quite a while. The name Hotel Planner is synonymous with group, so think meeting planner, event planner before house. So that's why we follow compression over big events. So we actually power most of the large, what we call OTAs, online travel agencies that you just named, 4, 9+ rooms, 5+ rooms, anytime it becomes a bigger group. We also specialize in a big call center that's global and it was localized. That's part of the service that helps us do large and small groups. So we also do individual, we're in a closed user group environment. So these are rates that can't be published, just deeper discounts. So we have a lot of different niches in this market. Let's just make them unique.
So Tim, help me out. So if I wanted a room, because it does sound like, right, as you say, you guys are known for closed user group discount rates. So if I'm an individual but wants a room somewhere, can I get it, or do I have to be part of a group?
No, as an individual, you could get it. We just can only publish on the website for individuals the rates that are available to the general public. So to get those closed user group rates, either behind a membership gateway or you'll have to call us up, and our agents can help you over the phone with those.
Yeah, Tim, and I wonder for sort of your more routine travel needs, if there's any rules of thumb you could share with us about how to get the best deal. I mean, is there some room to haggle on those listed prices that we see? You know, if I pick up the phone and get the right person on the other line, is it worth that effort, or is what I'm seeing on my screen the absolute best?
So most rates are yielded by what we call a revenue manager at the hotel, and some of those revenue managers are on for bigger properties, but for smaller properties, they'll be clustered, and so you can't get a rate unless you're communicating with a revenue manager. With some cases, you do have owner operators, and that would be typically your general manager, and of course, they are an owner, they can give you any rate you want, but it's tough in touch with them, and there's nothing to say that they would actually do that. But, you know, everything's to try, especially once you get to the rates that are as high as they are now. The tough thing is, you know, what they published online to sell is what they want, because they know they can get it because it's Super Bowl. But yeah, it's always worth a call.
But what about
to get to the right person? It's just talking to that person.
Tim, what about general, not just the Super Bowl? I mean, I know when I go, and if I especially work travel, if I get into a hotel at 8 or 9 o'clock at night, I'm like, can you give me a better room? Can you do something on the rate? Like, and you do often get a better room or a better rate. Because
especially if you flash the Bloomberg card, I definitely agree. Media always gets treated this way well.
I don't know if that's media or maybe the corporate thing, but even when I travel for myself, I will say, you know, can you do anything better on the room or something? Like, I'm not bashful. So should we as consumers just ask, as you say, you know, the manager at a hotel or the front desk manager can do a lot. Just got about 20, 25 seconds left.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and sometimes be gracious and even ask to pay with a room upgrade available. You know, I'd be willing to pay a little bit, and sometimes they'll just say, no, I can put you in a nicer room, no problem. And sometimes they'll say, oh, yeah, it's $25, $50 extra to upgrade to this room category, and more and more hotels are making the front desk giving them that power. So yeah, it's always worth an ask, and call around for sure.
Something tells me, Tim, that they're going to charge the Eagles fans more regardless. Maybe charge them a security deposit. I don't know. I got a bad feeling.
All right, Tim, thank you so much. Tim Hensel, co-founder and chief executive officer of HotelPlanner.com, joining us via Zoom from London. But I get his point about, you know, other cities that could maybe use the boost from a
Super
Bowl
that's a great
game.
point. Absolutely.
But it always seems to go to warm venues. Miami, Arizona, I've seen it before. All right, now let's get back to World and National News. Nancy Lyons, she's in our nation's capital here with an update. Hey, Nan.
Thanks, Carol. President Biden is putting the finishing touches on his State of the Union address. The White House says he will highlight accomplishments from his first 2 years and chart a vision for the future. That includes a call for a minimum tax on billionaires and quadrupling the levy on stock buybacks. Terry Haynes, founder of Pangea Policy, tells Bloomberg those will not fly in a divided Congress.
He's going to focus on proposing things that are red meat for the base, like stock buybacks and the like, that won't get enacted, as opposed to things that might be enactable.
Terry Haynes with Pangea Policy. The president is also expected to address the war in Ukraine and police reform following the killing of Tyree Nichols. Well, the White House has put out First Lady Jill Biden's guest list for the State of the Union. Bloomberg's Nathan Hager has more.
The list includes Ukraine's ambassador to the U.S., the family of Tyree Nichols, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul, who's recovered from a violent attack inside his home, and the lead singer of U2, Bono. The White House says the more than dozen guests of the First Lady personify issues and policies that the president will bring up in his speech. Inviting the Nichols family suggests the president will call for action on police reform. Bono is being recognized for his work with PEPFAR, the global AIDS relief effort unveiled at the State of the Union 20 years ago by former President George W. Bush. In Washington, I'm Nathan Hager, Bloomberg Radio.
You can catch full coverage of the State of the Union on a special edition of Bloomberg's Balance of Power. It begins at 8:30 p.m. Wall Street time on Bloomberg Radio and Television. SpaceX founder and CEO Elon Musk wants to launch the company's Starship prototype into orbit next month. He tweeted the first orbital test of the vehicle would happen once a few remaining tests are completed. Global news powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts and over 100